And welcome back to Let's Play Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. This time around, we're going to be actually doing something a little bit different. I've been referencing the fact that there are multiple ways to get into the City of Prehevil, not dependent on getting the 2 padlock keys for the front gate. And today we're going to be exploring some of those alternative methods, as well as an alternate event that can occur at the church should you reach it on the morning of day 1. And that's going to be more or less what this video is about. This one may be a lot shorter than the previous ones, depending on how much I edited down. It is going to be pretty heavily edited, so we're going to actually reload our afternoon of day 2 file, and at this point it's kind of redundant to utilize these methods, but this file is just close to where that is, so I may as well just use it for the sake of demonstrating it. So our first order of business is to get to the tunnel access way in the shack in the slums, so I'll meet you there. Now, one little thing that I'd like to show off here is that there's these gentlemen sitting at this table here. If you do not interact with them, just walk on past and avoid the glass shards that are on the floor. You can avoid a confrontation with them. I'd also just like to point out that there's a little document here. Let's just take a look at that crossword puzzle. It should be towards the bottom. Morning has gold in its mouth. Strange. Not sure what that means. You would think this would tie to a puzzle later, but actually it is just for an optional bit of dialogue with an optional enemy that doesn't contribute to anything. It's very, very strange. Alright, meet you at the shack. Alright, so here we are at the shack with the tunnel access. Let's just throw this open. Underneath the ground, we will find ourselves in tunnel number 5. Now, if you have Abella with you, or if you have obtained her caressing soul and learned the short circuit skill, you can short out the lock on this panel right here and access this tunnel. Otherwise, if you have the black orb spell, you could probably just blast that door down. There is not too much of note in tunnel 5 aside from additional loot, but there is one thing here, a dusty projector. If we had a film reel. We probably will come back here in the main file just to check out that film reel we got in the dock area by the church. But for right now, there's nothing we can do with that. Now, should you head deeper into Tunnel 5, you'll find another panel to short out here. Just open that up. And through here, find ourselves on the other side. We can unlock the door. And this stairwell leads not to more tunnel, but, what is all this grout on the floor? We find ourselves in the sewers, and oof, it is a stinky place in here. Now, at this gate, it is locked with a simple lock. If you have a small key, or if you have lockpicking like Marco does, or if you've elected to learn lockpicking as Karin, which you need to use the hexen in order to get, you can open up this gate and get sewer access. These sewers connect to the main City of Prehevil, and honestly, this is probably a good option to take if you do get lockpicking as Marco, because you can get into the city in the morning and potentially get more done to get more skills unlocked before you take your first rest and use the hexen. It also just avoids, let me think, what was I going to say? I know there was something that you could avoid by doing this. It might come to me later. If it doesn't, I apologize if this is a drop thread. But this is not the only way into the city via the sewers. It is commonly stated that there's only 6 ways to... No. It's commonly stated that there's only 2 ways to get into the City of Prehevil. There's actually 6 distinct routes you can take into it. Although I will admit 3 of these are kind of just a variation on the same thing. But we'll cover all of them in this video. The other method that we've already discussed is if you had bolt cutters, you could use those to snip the padlock on the city gate and get in that way, which that is dependent on luck, so that's not really a good way, but if you have the option, hey, go for it. Now let's get into some of the other ways we can access the city. Alright, so here we find ourselves at the riverbank by the train again, and you may have noticed this floodgate if you decide to come by this area. With the power of Marco's lockpicking, we can just simply pick this open, and this is another path into the sewers, specifically the southern tunnels. One thing to note about this is that this is not the only way to get into the sewers, and we'll be covering that in a little bit. You may remember that in the previous video, we got keys to the sewers off of the dead body in the church's basement, but that is obviously not that useful to you since you've already gotten into the city, though there is a use for it if you decide to take them. But there is another way to get through this specific door, and we'll be showing that off in a different file. For right now, let's get into the other way that allows you to get in the city, and this is the last way that involves the sewers. Alright, so here we are back in Tunnel 7. You may remember when we were here previously that there was a door that had a green light that lit up on it after we powered the generator. Should you go up to this door, you will be able to now access the electrical panel as Abella and short it out and open the door up. Now, what awaits us beyond this door? Well, just wait a second and you shall see. If you, Oh, I already shorted out. Whoops. Okay, so this leads into Tunnel 6. Now, this tunnel also has a connection into the sewers, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of find this way in to be a little redundant and silly, because the whole reason you'd want to avoid going in Tunnel 7 is if you want to avoid Tanaka getting beheaded by needles. If you never come into Tunnel 7, and there's a specific cutoff point for how deep you can go into it before he gets beheaded, Tanaka will be alive and well later. You can still go in for the purposes of recruiting Abella, but if you turn around and leave immediately, Tanaka will live. So this path is honestly kind of pointless, because it doesn't allow you to do that, and I feel like that's the big reason you'd want to skip Tunnel 7 to begin with. But whatever, if you have lockpicking or a small key, you can get through this door, or if you have the means to destroy the door, this is another option for getting into the sewers. Just another access point to the west end. Like I said, this is kind of redundant considering the Tunnel 5 access point, but if you want to take it, hey, by all means. That's all we're going to be doing with Marco in this video. For the rest of this video, we're going to be making a separate file, and for this one, we're going to have Abella as our main character instead of a party member. Abella as a main character is something I'm not a fan of for Fear and Hunger mode, because she is extremely useful as a party member, so I feel like playing as her is one of the biggest opportunity costs in the game, because a character does not replace Abella as a party member as an option, should you choose to play as her, so you put yourself at a pretty distinct disadvantage by playing as her as your main character in Fear and Hunger mode. In Masochism mode, where there are no recruitable party members, for the most part anyway, she's much better as an independent character, because you can judge her by her own merits rather than what the value she gives you as a recruit. Alright, let's get into Fear and Hunger mode. We'll be going through Abella's backstory here, and you know, we never really did find out why she is in Prehevil, so let's check out her character history. Is she wearing a different outfit, or is it just me? The soothing sound of the rail tracks. I'm not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. Can't help but let your mind wander. You reminisce what has led you to this point in life. Despite your homeland suffering greatly from the First Great War, you had a peaceful and balanced childhood with both of your parents and many siblings. The northern capital of Oldegard was rebuilding the destroyed cities when news about hostilities in the Eastern Europa were broadcasted on the radio. It sounded like the beginning of another worldwide war. You were still too young to take part in defending your borders, so you had to figure out an alternate way to help out your home front. You had a knack for mechanics and electronics, so ultimately it came down to those two lines of study. So, we can learn electronics here to get short circuit for opening up electric locks, but I want to learn mechanics because that'll get us wrench toss. If you are playing Maso mode, I'd strongly encourage you to get short circuit instead, because wrench toss is honestly kind of useless in that mode. But there are several things we can do with it in Fear and Hunger mode, so I'm going to take it here. Because you were the eldest child, you had a natural habit of taking care of those around you. Many of your close relatives marched to battle, and nothing could have gotten you more frustrated than your inability to help more people directly. You had already matured to adulthood, but because of your expertise in engineering, your role on the home front was more important than what you could have achieved on the battlefield. The home front was in disorder too. Someone had to step up and cover all the missing men now dying far away on some remote battlefields. Your broad shoulders could carry the burden and the increasing workload. They had to, because if not you, then who? During one particularly stormy night, while you were returning home after your 12-hour day, you ran into a foreign man on a rain-soaked alleyway. The man noticed you and desperately tried to run, for it only to collapse weakly after 10 minutes or so. 10 meters or so, I'm sorry. Not minutes. Man, that would be impressive if he was shot in the belly. The man had been shot to the belly. Upon searching his possessions, you found in his documents that said he was from the Kingdom of Rundon, an allied country of Oldegards. You thought about what to do for a moment, and then you could report the man to the officials, and this would get you 9 shillings and a lucky coin, but I want to help this guy. Let's take him home and treat his wounds, because The man stayed unconscious for a week, but slowly recovered thanks to your attentive mending. As days went by, he saw your eagerness to help and frustration towards the war. He then revealed his business in Oldegard. He was part of an underground resistance organization called Nameless Liberty Underground, NLU for short. The organization had been brewing hidden from watching eyes since the dawn of the First Great War. NLU worked across Europa trying to subdue the advancement of both Bremen Empire and Eastern Union. The man had important documents that needed to be taken to the Kingdom of Rundon as soon as possible. Because he couldn't obviously take them there himself, he asked if you could take his role. You had been hoping for a chance to work on something bigger, and this opportunity seemed to be just that. You packed your bags and set out. As a thanks for his rescue, the man gave you his officer sword. Now, Abella starts with her pipe wrench, and honestly, it's a bit more useful than a slashing type weapon like the officer sword in the early game. Officer sword does have one more attack power than the pipe wrench, but with the pipe wrench, Abella can use her wrench toss ability. A lot of things are weak to blunt damage early on. The real reason you want the officer sword is that you can build a decently strong weapon with it should you hunt down and kill needles, but we're probably not going to do that. You traveled through Europa, all the way to the Kingdom of Rundon. You found the meeting point described by the man and made contact with his colleagues. After talking briefly about the current situation in Eastern Europa, you were asked to join the organization. They were running low on members, and your expertise would surely come in handy. You were led to their headquarters, and you got to choose how you'd offer your help. Now, a lot of people like to pick weapon craft here, because it allows you to make the strongest weapons in the game. But there's a bit of downtime in the game before you're able to do that. You don't have all the materials you need right away. And by the time you do, you can easily get this skill at the Hexen. So I'm actually going to take trap craft right now, because it'll allow me to build a bear trap early on if I get the right materials. You learn trap craft. NLU had spies everywhere in Europa and beyond. Combining various information, snippets gathered from across the country, you were able to unravel parts of a larger scheme. The Eastern Union had been working on something malevolent and ill-boding in the country of Bohemia, and it seemed like Bremen wanted to get their hands on the project. Your deductions got a lot more weight when you heard the Bremen army finally occupied Bohemia. NLU sent some of their members immediately to the capital of Bohemia, Prehevil, but you quickly lost contact to them. The organization decided to wait and see if their members would surface, but you couldn't just sit back and hope for the best. You decided to take the first train towards Prehevil and find out what was going on. So, we have Abella's reasoning for being in Prehevil now. She's actually part of a underground organization working to subvert the Bremen Empire and the Eastern Union. You were told that if you needed support in your mission, you'd recognize the leader of Bohemian branch of the NLU from her red shoes. Red shoes? Why does that sound familiar? This little information about the task at hand. How did you prepare for the trip? We're going to want to take spare parts, since this will allow us to build some stuff. Particularly the pressure plates and the scrap metal will allow us to build a bear trap, which means I don't have to rely on luck to get one. You felt tense since the moment you embarked on this journey. Every night you'd see nightmares of the horrors that would await you in Prehevil. Are they just dreams? You can't help but feel that there is more to the dreams than mere logic would dictate. Save your character history? What the heck, I'll use it to designate a new file here. Fortunately, it starts on a fresh file. We're actually going to watch the intro once again to see an alternative way it could have gone. In the first video, I accidentally cheesed off the janitor and got him into a fight before I wanted to. Hey, wait a second, red shoes? But this time around, we're going to see what happens if we play along with him. Oh, Abella, you're a quick change artist there. That's strange, yeah. Whatever. Alright, so once again, usual rigmarole, we'll just search. Oh, bone saw, very nice. That means I can collect heads on my way to where we want to go in the, to start off. Hey, a bottle of vodka. This is some pretty good loot from the luggage. These suitcases can have basically any item in the game, so every once in a while you can potentially get some really good stuff from these suitcases. But, once again, we find ourselves heading to something that is definitely not part of the train in reality. And, once again, the janitor shows up. Hopefully I won't get into a fight with him so I can avoid showing his willy. The eyes of the janitor bulge out from their sockets as his expression intensifies. No one expects you to. You're a stupid fucking human, after all. Now get your ass back to the workbench! This is your last chance. Next time, it's punishing time. What are we supposed to do? What? You're supposed to assemble new cubes, of course. As for how, figure it out yourself. If you're not capable of that much, you're beyond hope and useless in every sense of the word. God, does your back hurt like that? What you googling at? There's nothing to see here. Eyes on the cubes. Work, or I'll rip those eyes out of your pretty face. Yeah, the red shoes. Is this girl connected? Is she the NLU leader? So basically, you just have to fiddle around with the directional keys to figure out how to assemble these. You press up, press left to start working on it, then down to place it down, and then you just do that until... And after a while, the girl in pink is trying to get your attention. Well, let's go after her. Alright, head forward. Where do you think you're going? And the janitor will come after us. Fortunately, we do not have to fight him. We can, in fact, just run away. Abella, with Wrench Toss, actually has pretty decent odds of defeating him. Just whack him on the first turn and then Wrench Toss on the second. But we can just avoid him altogether. Your head hurts. You feel like you're losing your mind. And you may recognize some of the people at these tables from the New Gods in the first game. Wonder how this all connects together. And once again, we're back at the feet of Prehevil. We didn't get hurt at all this time, nor do we have a bloody Kasara, so there's not really much interesting to see. So let's just skip through this. One thing I would like to remark on, which maybe I'll get a chance to show it later, is that if you have lost any limbs from the janitor, Prehevil will explicitly comment on how Rare healed you to restore them. Hey, we're back in our original overalls. And with that said and done, we're going to head back out to the front of the train. One thing to note, I believe I mentioned this, but if you pick this map and this combat manual off of the couch before stepping out of the train, for whatever reason, Caligura will not be here when you first get into this room, or when you return to it. Alright, let's get out and get our lay of the land. So you're saying we're stuck here? Pretty much. There's something going on there. The engine won't start. There must be something wrong with it. You overhear a discussion. Oh, the pretty lady got up. Oh, there were still people inside the train? We don't really know what's going on. The train left us all out here, at the outskirts of the city. All the train personnel, everyone, gone. No explanations. I tried to check up the train, but couldn't get to move an inch. Now, I'm no train driver, but I'd say the thing is busted. Well, we're an engineer. Okay, let's get some proper work clothing for this. And now with this... you just had these in your dream. Is the dream an omen? We have Abella's signature yellow outfit, her April O'Neil-style working overalls. Looking sharp! You are ashamed to admit it, but you feel the most at home in this attire. And with that, we will get into the moment where Abella is looking at the train, but you examine the engine, yet you find nothing wrong with it. So how does it look? Oh? Well then. It's a mystery, alright. Maybe it's better we just wait for the train personnel to return in that case. If you're not in a hurry, I recommend just taking a seat inside and trying to relax. Alright, we'll introduce ourselves, but at this point, the conversation pretty much goes the same way as it does for anyone, so we're just going to skip through this. I don't know if I've mentioned this specifically, but if you hold the W key on your keyboard, the text will fast forward rapidly. But introductions are shared, and we're just going to pass through all this. One nice thing about fast forwarding the text is that it does not select any options, so you'll be able to or select the thing you want to. You won't just mash the first choice, which could be very disastrous in several cases. Alright. Now they're pointing out the tower. I wonder when we'll get to that tower. Just every time I see it, it's so ominous. You know, this has gotten me thinking. It seemed like we were at the top of the tower in that dream. There's gotta be a connection there. And just gonna rush through this. We can skip the day title card. Now, someone I actually do want to talk to here is August. I couldn't help but notice your accent. You're from the old country of Oldegard, aren't you? That's right. I'm surprised you recognize it. Oh, I certainly do. The language has a special place in my heart. You see, my family roots come from Oldegard as well. My grandfather used to talk to me in his mother tongue when I was just a small child. I'm 1/4 Oldegardian, that is. I can understand the language perfectly well, although my speech might not be as fluent, I'm afraid. During my younger years, I visited the country a dozen times, but it has been way too long since my last trip there. The green valleys, the endless forests, and the 1,000 lakes call me. Maybe after my current business trip, I will finally settle down there and enjoy the long snowy winters and the bright summer nights when the sun never sets. Where, that was, you know what, where is he from? I lived a full nomad life all my time, traveling from one country to another. It is almost like a family tradition at this point. We have always been on the road for generations. But I wanted that tradition to stop at me. My 2 children live with their mother in Valand. I do not consider it my home country per se, but I suppose that is the closest to one I got. In any case, I do want my children to have some sense of stability. Maybe it's time I take them to see their roots in Oldegard. But yeah, we can learn some additional information about August if we're playing as Abella. I'm not going to spend too much time talking to anybody, though, because I want to get through this video. Now, we're actually going to tail Karin for a bit. Not doing anything suspicious here. I'm just following Karin. Let her go off screen. And then, hey, Karin, I got something to ask you. How does this wrench feel when I apply it to your forearms? Just answer me honestly. Not too good? Not too good? Okay. Well, okay, let me change up the question here. How about when I apply it to your torso? Does that hurt at all? Oh dear. I'm sorry, I did not realize it was that painful. Well, yeah, so I'm gonna be ganking quite a few of our fellow train passengers here. Karin, we're going to kill right out because we can get her gun, which might be handy in a few cases. And who knows, maybe I'll want to take up some lockpicking. And you know what? She's got such a beautiful face. I should carry this along with me. But for the ending we're going for in this file, I'm going to need to personally slaughter every single fellow contestant in the town of Prehevil. So, yeah, we're going to be wildly out of character for Abella. Of course, I'm not going to paint the town red right at the start. We do want to keep people alive for a little bit. In particular, there are some events I want to see. We're going to be keeping Tanaka alive, for instance, but sooner or later, they will all fall by Abella's hand. With that taken care of, I'm going to start working my way towards the mayor's manor, because that's where we need to head first, and I'll be collecting everything I can along the way. Alright, so here we are at the 2nd floor of the Mayor's Manor. I have not gone to Tunnel 7 at this point. Should we come straight to the Mayor's house, instead of going to Tunnel 7... Hey, I see someone there. Hey, it's Henryk from the train! For Almer's sake! You startled me! I'm always happy to see your glorious figure, love, but give me a little warning next time, alright? Now, if you'd excuse me... Seems a little stressed out. Hold on, Henryk. I gotta do some looting real quick. And, okay, let's continue that conversation. His eyes are darting around the ceiling. He is seemingly distressed. Are you okay? Can you hear that? I can hear a clock, but I can't see the goddamn thing. I do hear the clock. You know, we might just be in the manor entryway from Resident Evil 1. You ever consider that, my friend? Yo, Henryk, eyes on the prize. I can smell rosemary and garlic. I'm starving! He's got a crazed expression on his face. You notice his eyes gazing right through you. I can smell it. Definitely. You can't fool me. Get a hold of yourself, man. Do you want to feel the same way Karin did when I applied the wrench to her torso? I don't think so. Oh! Sorry about that. I don't know what got into me. First I was just lost in my thoughts, but next those thoughts consumed me. There's something wrong about this place. I came here to find something to eat. Not just for me, of course. Food for the people at the train. I figured that could be my way of helping everyone in this situation. You saw all the food at the dinner table. This used to be the mayor's manor. He must have stashed all the food somewhere. Help me find the food storage and we'll be out of here. Alright, I can work with that. So yes, Henryk gives us a quest to find the food storage, which of course we've already done, but Henryk was not alive to appreciate that fact. I couldn't possibly imagine what could have killed him, though. Alright, so let's collect everything here. Now, once again, the decrepit priest is going to be blocking our way, and the odds of defeating him as a solo character without a gun, although I should note, I did luck out and get a small key, so I do have a rifle to work with. The odds of defeating him with just, actually, Phasmophobia. That is the best phobia to have in the game. There are 2 ghost enemies in the game, and neither of them deals body damage, so this is a rock-solid Abella. I appreciate it. So, if you want to defeat the decrepit priest with just a single character, one good option we have is let's aggro him, then let's place a bear trap on the doorway. In another moment of good fortune, I did happen to get a random bear trap, but I went with the materials I went with, just so I could craft one guaranteed. That will take out his legs, allowing us to enter the fight with his legs disabled, his head exposed, and we can just beat him over the head with the wrench. There we go. Bear traps can be very, very useful like that, so always be mindful of where you can place them. Do keep in mind that a lot of enemies are smart, so to speak. They will walk around bear traps if they have the option to do so, so you gotta place them in places where they couldn't possibly juke around them, like doorways, or if you can manipulate them into walking into an obstacle, they'll usually walk diagonally into the bear trap. Now, the reason I'm still running the commentary here is because I'm going to show off something. Once again, we need the manor key to get into the basement. I'm just grabbing all the stuff here. So let's grab that off the wall, and we gotta go back a little ways to get into the basement. Or do we? Let me just get it. Ooh, pet pills, nice. Let's equip that leather armor real quick before I forget. So if we examine the center part right here, you can climb down roots that are supposedly there. You are supposed to, in order to access this, draw a Venushka symbol on the ritual circle overhead, but due to a bug, the object you normally interact with is always active here, so you can just climb down even though they're not there. Kind of funny like that. Anyways, inside this rather distressing-looking area, honestly, and no treasure, we find the Fluted Fald. This is an extended reference to the Dark Souls series. The Fluted Fald is part of a piece of equipment or a piece of armor that you can forge that gives you absolute limb protection. Abella's starting to feel hungry. Wonder if there's anything we can do about that. Can't make sense of the writing. Doesn't look like any known language to you. But yeah, if you were hearing any heartbeat sounds inside this manor basement in the previous video, well, those weird floating things is what was making those sounds. Now, let's just get straight to the food storage here. Just pop this open real quick. This must be the food storage Vault Town. And we'll go back and let Henryk know that we found it. I'll grab everything off the shelves and stuff when we're actually leaving here. For right now, I just want to get down to brass tacks, so let's just go back to Henryk. Henryk, you won't believe what I found. It was food. You were correct. Doesn't that make you feel vindicated? Yeah, I found it. Leading the way. Jackpot, this is it. Oh, this is the stuff. It's the famous Bohemian Truffle. Makes you want to do the Bohemian Truffle Shuffle. The mayor must have gathered this all together when shit hit the fan. You could barricade yourself here for months with this much goodies around. I'll pick up the ingredients for a great dinner. For how many people? Maybe 14, just in case. I'd recommend 13. I mean, no, yeah, 14's a good idea. Yeah. Hey, I also found something interesting. Maybe you'll find use for these. You got the sewer keys. I figured you'd get to the city with these. Now, this is commonly listed as the... Oh, hold on. In any case, I'll see you back at the train in a minute. Don't forget to join the dinner. This is commonly listed as the second way to get in the Old City, but it is not the only way you can do it. But these sewer keys will open up the floodgate we saw as Marco earlier. Unfortunately, Henryk is blocking the way, so I can't get all the food there. Now, at this point, once Henryk has finished his business here, and he'll finish as soon as you leave the manor, he will return to the train, and we can see what services Henryk provides for us, should he be available at the train. So I'm just going to collect everything that's left to grab here, and I'll meet you back at the train. Alright, so back at the train, we will find that Henryk has set up a little campfire here, and he's preparing dinner. I could go for some dinner, honestly. Even though it's like 10 in the morning, but whatever. It was surprisingly tasty. So, how was it? Loved it. Good, good. Henryk looks seemingly happy with stupid grin and all. But yes, if you are able to save Henryk and recruit him, he does not become a party member, but he will always be cooking for your party, and you can come back and talk to him and just get a free refill of your hunger. Honestly, this is far, far less useful than having Abella as a character to fight with. It is just not that helpful of a feature, if I'm being completely honest, because food is pretty common and it's pretty easy to restore your hunger. If you do not... Let me see. If you get Henryk also, and you are not playing as Abella, something happens to Abella, which I'll show off later in this video. There's an easy way to see that in action. So let's continue our way. We got the sewer keys. I'm just trying to hug the left side of the screen here because I have not killed the rifleman. So he could potentially aggro while I'm trying to cross. As long as he's not in view, we should be fine. Ah, jeez. I can't get around. Alright, he's probably going to take a pot shot or two at me, but I'm not overly concerned about that. Yep, I see him right there. Alright, cool. We were able to get out of his vision range. Now, we can use these sewer keys to get in the sewers. Now, we do actually have to come here in the main game as Marco, and we'll probably be seeing some of the same stuff I do here in this video. But for right now, we just want to go through. The enemies that will occasionally slop down and aggro on you are neighbors. These guys are dangerous. Do not mess around with them. We want to quickly juke up and get around this one. Do not fight these guys right now, not until you have a way that allows you to either one-turn kill them or redirect their attacks off yourself, because they hit hard, especially if you have teratophobia. Do not mess around with these guys if you have teratophobia. Another one will slop on in. There are two things we want to check out before we leave here, and I just want to keep heading northwest. Luckily, I've played this game enough that I already know the way through the sewer. It is pretty labyrinth, but once you get the lay of the land, it's actually surprisingly simply laid out. Let me see. It's a bit unfortunate that guy's there. Can I get past? Okay, good. Glad that he walked down. So, first thing we want to check out here is this ladder. Going up this ladder will take us on to Central Street. Now, I'm not going to do too much here. We could go to the bookstore, but I don't want to go there quite yet. Just checking out these crates in order to... oh, wait, can I get those barrels there? Just checking out these things here to get some additional supplies, should I need them. But you may notice, when we came here in the previous video, there was a manhole cover, and we did have a sewer winch to open it up, but normally you would not have that. But if you open the manhole cover from the other side, from within the sewers, you do not need the winch to pop it open. So this allows you to open up all of the manhole covers scattered around Prehevil without getting a winch, which is one of the nice things about getting in the sewers, and is even worth doing even if you popped open the padlock to the city. Having bad luck with chests these days. Now, the way we want to head is going to take us to a bit of a puzzle here. So first, let's get this inventory here. Get another bone saw. Nice stuff, nice stuff. Now, we are in the sewage treatment plant. Over here is a water control system. Let's see. The water pressure must be maintained at a minimum of 50% to not create cloggages in the sewage system. As a safety precaution, you can only disable 50% of the water pipes coming from Western Prehevil and 50% of the water pipes coming from Eastern Prehevil. So, we can only have a single switch on both of these sides deactivated at a single time. So I already know the solution to this puzzle. You may notice there's a ladder over there that is retracted. We want to drop that down. Now, we are going to have to do this puzzle as Marco, but for the route I want to take through the sewers right now, and before I start exploring Central Street and going into the church, it really behooves us to go this way first, so that's what I'm going to do. Heading over to the right here, you'll find a door that is blocked off with a crate. Were you to try and come this way, you would find the door is unopenable, so you have to go the way I went first in order to push that out of the way. Now you may be thinking, well, what if we move that crate underneath the water while it's deactivated and then reactivate the water? You see, you're in the puzzle-solving mindset there, which is good, You need it for getting through this. So we're going to flip the left switch. We want it to be on this one for the rest of the game. And now we're going to deactivate the other switch on the right side and head back up and push that crate underneath the water path. You may notice that there is another box just past that. That one can actually just be pushed all the way to the edge of the wall, and that'll get it past that door that you see over there. We're not going to head that way. That is for something we want to do later, and Abella definitely couldn't survive what awaits us past there at this moment, so we're not going to worry about it. But we do want to blast this one box out of the way, and then we can push that other box past the doorway. So let's just quickly flick that back on, and then turn it back off for the rest of the game. Ditto for the other switch. Now that the ladder has been dropped, we can get around that water flow that was going down, and move on our way. Now this route is going to take us towards the shopping district of Prehevil. So we can go into Prehevil Bop and get all the goodies that await us there. The guns, and we can go to Dr. Kiefer's, and how many shillings do I have, as a matter of fact? Can I get a Small Things amulet at this moment? Maybe, if I get a little bit lucky on the loot gets. At the very least, I'll probably search the store so I can get some items there. Alright, let's pop these open. Another small key, always nice. And before we go forward, I actually want to equip the rifle real quick. Luckily, it comes with a free bullet. You examine the rifle. It feels crazy to you that such a simple apparatus can have such a big impact to the world. You've seen these things create destruction around the world, and you've created a great disdain over them over time. Having one in this situation, however, creates a sense of safety. Not very familiar with one, but you figure that plenty of dull-witted people have managed to use one, so why not you? Good logic, Bella, good logic. So we only have one shell, but this one shell is is all we need, because trying to go this way, we'll see a rat hag. We just want to take out her arm so she can't spam mischief of rats on us. I just gotta make sure. Do I have any green herbs? Yes, okay, I have one. I have exactly one. Hopefully I don't get infected past this point. So let's see. We'll just work her torso. And I don't want to risk it, so I'm just going to let the rat bite me and take the infection. I don't want to risk being disarmed and not being able to actually kill her. Now that I've damaged her a bit, this wrench toss should finish her off. Ooh, the rats are fast. The rats are aggressive. And good, Abella is nice and infected now. But that's okay, we do have the one spare green herb. I better collect some more when I have the chance. Alright, let's just get the stuff off of this hag. Another small key, not anything I really care about. Make sure we are re-equipped, and let's go onward and upward. Now, I'm gonna hug the left side of the wall here because... I'm Levi. And we want to run. This is a doppelganger, and as you can see, he's a not exactly overburdened with intelligence version of Levi. He actually has the exact same inventory drops as Levi, and what's even funnier than that is that if you sever his head, he can be traded to Pocket Cat just like the other contestant heads. So it's a way to get some contestant heads without actually having to kill other contestants if you want them. Ooh, eyeglasses. This is actually a semi-unique accessory. It increases your accuracy. Although by the exact value, what the exact value is, I don't quite know. Alright, let's pop open the manhole cover and find ourselves on Shopping Street. Now, I'm not just commenting this part just to fill up time in the video, because there is actually one thing that I want to check out, specifically in Prehevil Bop, after we get all of the things that we can get there. And, of course, I just have to loot everything. Heading into the Bop. We'll just light this up right here. Naturally, we'll open up the speakeasy straight away. And climb on down. Let's see, Prehevil document, not good. Okay, get a rifle here, just for the ammo, really. And a trench gun, very nice. And, of course, we want to get the pistol, But more importantly than that, we want to get the coded letter. You may remember that Abella is a part of the NLU, and, well, I can only imagine that a secret society would speak in coded letters. So, what if we have Abella as the main character read the letter? The letter is encrypted by someone from the Nameless Liberty Underground, uses the same code language taught to you at NLU headquarters. You take a closer look. Eastern Union officials from both Varanian Republic as well as from Eastern Sanctuaries don't understand what they are giving up. I tried to emphasize the importance of Project Logic during my time with the research, yet they cannot see its true potential. Eastern Union is willing to let go of some of Prehevil for a very cheap price. The leaked documents say the officials are stupid enough to think they got a good deal out of it. They don't understand what they are handing over to the Kaiser on a silver platter, but Kaiser knows. I first met him briefly during my scholarship at Compound all those years ago. It sounds like Kaiser knows perfectly well what the project has been building towards. In fact, from the pieces I was able to gather, it sounds like he was one of the main forces kickstarting the project long before the Great War started and pitted Bremen and Eastern Union against each other. Interesting. So, we've got a Project Logic, eh? We'll have to keep that in mind, see if it comes up again. Let's see, just want to light all these candles here. And that's everything I want to show on Central Street. Now, Shopping Street, rather. Now, I'm going to collect the items that I want to get around here, and then I'm going to meet you back at the church. One thing I'm really hoping we find, and it's going to be a bit unfortunate if I don't, is a means to save the game, because if I don't find that, then this file is just actually going to have to go to waste, but that's not the end of the world if it is. I'm more than willing to just replay what I've done. Alright, meet you in a bit. Alright, in a moment of serious good fortune that is letting me know this run is meant to be, I did in fact get a Book of Enlightenment to save my game, so we're just going to save at the church right here, because what I'm about to do I actually do not want to keep for this file, but I would like to show it off at some point, so let's just make a quick save here. Ooh, okay, so that cold laughing, that is Needles. If you did not kill Needles in the Tunnel 7, he will stalk you throughout the streets of Prehevil. His coming is heralded by the sound of his creepy laughter. Fortunately, we're not going to really have to worry about him, so let's just get into the church. Coming here on day 1 morning... Oh. Okay, that must be different. I'm guessing that must only happen if you're playing as Marina. I did not realize that. Well, regardless, there's something else we can do. So let's go get the bolt cutters real quick. And what I'm about to do with dropping the chandelier, this is the main reason why I don't want to do this. But let's get the bolt cutters and the vodka, of course. Arguably the more important thing, but we're just working to quickly get through this. And we will go and drop the chandelier down. Do not mind me, pillar men. I am not here to hassle you in any capacity. We'll leave Osa to stew inside the confessional, and we'll just drop on down. Okay, and take a quick jump here. And we're just going to quickly run and stomp this guy. Quickly run and grab the effigy and the church keys, although again, I'm not going to be keeping this, so it really does not... Actually, you know what? I wonder what happens if I just grab the keys and leave the effigy. You know what? The only thing we actually need right now are the keys, so I'm just going to take those. Because we already have the sewer keys, we do not get any sewer keys from that man. We're just going to go this way. Yeah, okay, so the Crimson Father still spawns. I was wondering if you didn't grab the effigy, if he wouldn't spawn, but it looks like he does as soon as you walk over that threshold. Regardless, that's not really what we're concerned about. We want to get into the rare dimension. And unless this got changed in a patch, there should be something different waiting for us here, rather than Samarie turning into Dysmorphia. But I'm going to walk forward really slowly. And... okay, she's not at the altar. So, we can find Samarie over here. What I was expecting to happen is that there's a cutscene that you can see between Samarie and Marina's father, Father Domek, but I guess they changed it so that that cutscene can only play if you're playing as Marina? I'm not sure. Whatever the case, if you reach the church on day 1 morning, you can find Samarie not exactly going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, okay, the cutscene's just bugged, because we're talking about it like we saw it. I didn't mean to do it. I really didn't. I was just trying to protect her. If only she knew. The girl is crying and hysterical. What if she doesn't understand what I've done? Oh. The girl just keeps on crying. I didn't mean to kill. Oh, come on. You've done nothing wrong. Just calm down. But he's dead. I killed him. We all have to do terrible things. Because of him. That fiend at the top. She seems to finally be calming down. What's your name? Samarie. I saw you at the train. Yeah, let's return there. No. You don't want me there, if you knew what I've done. It doesn't matter. Come on, let's get to the train. Okay. I'll go back if you say it's okay. Let's go, then. No. Not yet. Train. I'll go back there, like you said. I'll go back to the train. How will you get there? I have my ways, if you know the red arcs. The red arcs? Okay, so it looks like in the current version of the game, the cutscene that's supposed to happen when you enter the church on the morning of day 1 seems to be bugged and just doesn't play at all. For the longest time, the cutscene that plays would play at any time during day 1, even though it really only made sense if it happened during the morning. And I guess Orange attempted to fix that, but it did not go very well. Now I'm gonna do my best to try and get out of the church basement. If the death mask does not spawn, I should be fine. If it does, it might get a little dicey. I do want to go over death mask spawns really quickly. Death masks seem to be tied to reaching specific milestones in the game, and the first one that I have always noticed is whenever you have reached the church, a death mask, or basically any area that is similar distance to the train from the train as the church, a random coffin is chosen to be a death mask spawn point, and the ones I've most commonly had pop out on me are either the one in the church basement or the one adjacent to Central Street when you enter the old city. So hopefully I can get through here without being hassled by a death mask, but we'll have to see. I'm going to do my best to get back to the train. Alright, so here we are back at the train. Samarie said she'd have her way of getting back here, so let's see if she is true to her word there. So let's go in. I think she hangs out in a different train car than the others. Yes, she hangs out in this one. Samarie is cautiously looking at you behind her bangs. Excuse me. Hi. I need to explain some things. I didn't mean to kill. Or maybe I did, but I wouldn't have done it in any normal circumstances. I swear. But that man, when I saw that evil man, I understood it all. Everything she had been thinking. He was just as bad, if not worse. I read his thoughts too. He was vile. And when he grabbed me, I saw that glimmer in his eyes. I just couldn't. You don't need to explain anything. This place is making everybody go a little cuckoo. You seem to have calmed down, at least. You probably think I'm crazy. But I really didn't mean this to happen. I hope you don't think I'm a monster, that's all. Why are you asking? Because I'm quiet? I'm just concerned. How'd you get to the church? I came here on a train like everyone else. Once you people left, I left too. The town was torched by the moon. I wanted none of that, so instead I drew a sigil of Almer, created a blood portal, and got there fast. Simple. Okay, it's not exactly how Almer's blood portals work for us, but want to tag along? No. Well, yeah, Samarie cannot be recruited as a party member, but we just want to quit to the title screen, because I actually do not want to break into the church basement using the chandelier, because there is an alternative way to get in there that'll allow us to fight a special boss fight if we take it. So I'm not going to use the chandelier method to get to that church in the playthrough, the Abella playthrough. I'm just going to go my own separate way, and I'll show off where the playthrough diverges with Marco's playthrough as it becomes pertinent. One thing to note about Abella's playthrough, though, is I'm going to be going strictly as a solo character, so we will see what strategies I can employ in order to complete the game with just a single character, which is a good skill set to have if you decide to tackle Masso mode. But you may have noticed the length on this video. We're not done just quite yet. I just wanted to check out one more backstory, as well as an alternative thing that can happen in the intro sequence, and it will lead into the final way that we can get into the city. So let's start up a new game this time, and I've already made a file with having what I want for this, but just for the sake of showing off her backstory, let's check out Marina as the protagonist. We're just going to start there, go Fear and Hunger mode. And once again, this seems familiar to me, we are not going to skip the character history. We want to learn all about Marina, the strangely perky but also disaffected youth, the soothing sound of the rail tracks. You are not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. You can't help but let your mind wander. You reminisce what has led you to this point in life. You were born into the Church of Almer. For many generations, your lineage took part in the most wicked of rituals, only to appease gods of a forgotten age. A life of a dark priest is a cruel one, even if modern times overlook the most archaic and ancient rites. A dark priest's life begins and ends in full dedication to the older gods. There is no place for self in the church. Your mother had different plans for you. She didn't want you to go down the path that would befall every firstborn son in church. So when she finally let your father know of your birth, she told him a daughter was born to the household. You were dressed accordingly. Your distant and often absent father didn't get wind of the original nature of things, or he just denied what was in front of his face. In either case, the subject was never brought up. As you grew a little bit older, you didn't question this either. Everything felt natural this way, so who cares? You grew up at the churchyard in the City of Prehevil. You started your religious studies at a fairly young age. You were given an option to choose which of studies you'd pursue, something completely unheard of if you had been a firstborn son of a dark priest. Now, Marina has some very, very good options here. She can study occultism to learn her engrave skill, which will allow her to engrave herself with the God of Fear and Hunger symbol right off the train, assuming she's able to get the Bible early enough. She can study alchemy, which I love this option. This is a great option. It gives you Alchemilia Volume 1 and 2, allowing you to craft so many items right off the train. And another very solid option is necromancy. With necromancy, you can create ghoul party members and get a full party, again, right off the train. Lots of good stuff here. Personally, I think alchemy is probably the best of these, because there are ways to work around the better perks of picking necromancy, but any of these can work into a build. This is just such a good option. No bad choices on this first choice, I think. Let's take alchemy, though. You proved out to have great talent as an occultist, and slowly even the Holy City of Vatican and their Ministry of Darkness heard about your feats. You were offered a scholarship at the Vatican City to further educate yourself. You took the position without hesitation. Just the idea of getting away from your condescending and stuck-up father was enough to make the decision, not to mention the obvious benefits the Vatican City would have to offer. Your hometown wasn't exactly a bustling metropolis. Your mother was very proud of you. She always was. Your father, on the other hand, seemed jealous of you. Your father had always been antagonistic towards you and your pursuits. You were not sure if he had something to do with your origin, or if there was something else left unsaid. At the Ministry of Darkness, Vatican City, in the initiation ceremony, all the new students would have to choose an older god that they let inside them. Who did you choose? Now, this is a very unique option, and this is what makes Marina such a strong caster, is that she can pick a god and get maxed out affinity with them right off the train, which means she can access all their skills at the Hexen on her very first rest. This is such a good thing. It is also basically the only way you can realistically make use of rare skills without denying you some serious benefits. Some really good options here, of course, are Sylvian, get healing magic right off the bat, get pheromones right off the bat. I think Grogroth personally is the best because it allows you to get some really powerful attacking magic really early without having to do any work, and it allows you to dedicate any asymmetrical circles you find to other gods like Sylvian, and it allows you to max out Venushka while still getting max Grogroth affinity. Any one of these is a good option though, so whatever you feel is, well, except Almer. Almer sucks, but any one of these leads to some good stuff besides Almer, so whatever you feel is best. I just think you should avoid going with Fear and Hunger because you're going to be drawing a lot of those sigils anyway, so you'll get those spells after or spells and skills after a certain period of time, and it's only competing with the rather useless Almer sigil, so yeah, just go with Grogroth, Sylvian, or Venushka if you want. Another good way to make use of Venushka, another good way to make use of Rare and the Golden Gates. Let's just go Grogroth. I've said enough about this. Your affliction with the said god grew greatly. Everything was going well with your studies until one day you got a letter from home. It was written by your father. This is very strange. You didn't have any contact with him since your departure. The letter told you that your mother had passed away. The words were cold and without sympathy. You tried calling your home, but the telephone exchange wouldn't connect to any phone in the Prehevilian area. You had a suspicion that your father had something to do with this. He had always been too obsessed with the blood magic, and you had learned there were too many rites that demanded the blood of your loved ones to work. There was no other way. You had to prepare for a trip back home, to Prehevil. How'd you prepare for the travels? Now, she can stock up on medical goods, she can stock up on food, but Marina has a very unique option here. She can get something to read, and this gives her a random skin Bible. She can get any skin Bible in the game off of this option, so if you want to get a specific one, you can just keep redoing this history until you get the one you want, and it is highly recommended you get the skin Bible of the God of Fear and Hunger, should you be trying to take on masochism mode. We'll just see what we get here. Grogroth, okay. So I am going to have to reload the pre-made file that I made, because we need Venushka's Bible for what I want to do. How long has it been? Feels like a lifetime since you left the town. And we're not going to save this. We are going to check out one thing in the intro, though. And once again, we see the pink-dressed girl with the red shoes. Kind of wish that symbol that she drew stayed there. When I look at it too fast, it looks like the symbol of 50 blessings from Hotline Miami. Hey, you're a cool person if you get that reference. Okay, so we're going to go into the workshop, and we're just going to check out the last thing that can happen with the janitor, which of course means I'm gonna have to bust out Sonny's face to get his willy off the screen. Get your hands off of me. Now, Marina has no hope of winning this fight. She comes with a dinky little kitchen knife, which does not deal anywhere near enough damage to take this guy out, so we're going to lose here. You'll note that the Kasura does not have a guaranteed chance of actually hacking off your limb, so you don't necessarily have to worry about that happening should you engage in this battle. You know what, I'm just going to attack him in his willy real quick. Or his sax, I'm sorry. There we go, the Sonny can get off the screen now, but we lose anyway. I'll teach you to run away. Yeah, yeah. And should you lose to him, let's see you dash around like a little jailbird without these chicken thighs of yours. And oof, this is yeah. He hacks off both of your legs. Now get back to work. The janitor walked away. Apparently he has other slaves to look after as well. And at this point, you can just go away, but yes, your hacked-off legs remain there. Now, if you go all the way to the point where Perkeel just takes you out of the nightmare, he will heal you fully. Also, she's got the horrible teratophobia, but that's not what we're here to see. We're just going to quickly load up the pre-made file I made here. It's stored at the top of my save list, so let's load up this Marina file. The Bible that she has here is the Skin Bible of Venushka, and that is the 6th and final way that we can get into the City of Prehevil. So we're just going to blitz through the intro here. Once we get to... oh, one funny thing to note once we get there. So once we get to the front of the train car again... Oh, never mind. I was going to say that the ritual circle is here, even though there's nobody to draw it, but I guess it just appears after the opening cutscene. Now we're just going to head out here, and we're gonna... Oh, hi. Or, oh, hi! You finally woke up. Don't let me bother you. I'll be on my way. And then you can just skip the entire intro. Monologue with the moon, all that jazz. Now, first order of business is we want to head the way towards the woodsman's house. One thing to note about Marina is that she starts with a piece of chalk, so she can get right to drawing sigils representing certain gods on the correct circles. No need to hunt down a piece of chalk, though chalk is a fairly common item, so it usually doesn't take too long to get one, but this is just another way that Marina has a pretty decent start. So we're going to go to this sigil right here, and we are going to draw the symbol of Venushka, which we can conveniently do, because we have his Bible. And when you draw Venushka's sigil, you can create special trees that you can climb up and access new areas. You can also drop down this ladder if we want. And this will allow us to get into the deep woods. Now, I'm not going to explore this area because we can see it later, but this connects to the west end of Prehevil. One thing to note is that if you go this route before entering the city the main way, you can find Pocket Cat at the gates of the west end of the city and see the cutscene there. It's the exact same cutscene as seeing him at the stairs of the old city entrance, so I'm not going to bother showing that off because it's not that different. And there's one more thing that I want to show here. So you may have noticed in front of the woodsman's house there's a well. So let's just let the woodsman do his thing, and let's take a look at this. The well seems dark and deep. You get an urge to jump down. Well, I see no problem that could happen here. See you, woodsman. And jumping into the well. Ah, score, check this out. There's a lucky coin. You don't feel so lucky, though, for whatever reason. Ah, you're just over-exaggerating. The well doesn't look that deep from down here. Let's climb on up. Can't seem to get a good grip from the wall. Uh-oh. The stones are too round, and the slippery moss doesn't help. You can feel this realization in your guts. What if you can't get back up? Can you actually get back up? Let's see, investigate the walls. Try to find anything to help your situation. The cracks between the stones? Nothing. Loose stones? Nope, nothing. Let's see, let's yell for help. Come on, you try to yell for help as loud as possible. Nothing. Try again. You try to yell for help as loud as possible. Oh hey, I hear something. You hear someone walk on the ground level. Hello? Hey, it's Tanaka! Is someone down there? Yes, I fell down here. I need help! Oh, it's you! From the train! How did you end up there? Oh my, let's see. Wait for a minute, I'll figure out something. You hear someone else approach the well. Oh! You startled me, mister. I really need some help. You see, there's some... Oh dear. Wait, a rope! His head has been cut off. You find 3 matches and 10 shillings. Well, thanks for your contribution, Tanaka. Yes, this is another way Tanaka can die. The woodsman! Leave now, stranger. Leave. You were the one who helped me? Leave, or die. Yes, the woodsman has a moment of lucidity, and he decides to help us out. If you press him, though, he will become hostile again. One thing to note... If the woodsman is dead, or if Tanaka is dead, or obviously if both are dead, this cutscene will not happen. So you do need to specifically have both Tanaka and the woodsman alive for that to play out. But that is all that I wanted to show off for this video. That's all the side stuff that I wanted to get to. It's really, really unfortunate that the Samarie cutscene is broken right now, but it is what it is. I was not expecting that. In the last time I have actually seen that cutscene, it was in an earlier version where it just played at any time of day, so I just assumed it was moved to the proper time of day and still played, but no, it just seemed to be broken altogether. If anyone knows if it still plays, if Marina managed to get there on the first day, which is kind of dependent on getting a small key, but it's not possible, let me know. But that's where we're going to end this video. As always, hope you enjoy watching. Hope to see you in the next video where we pick up where Marco left off and collect more effigies in order to progress the game. See you then.